Imagine a garden where every drop of water tells a story of intention, where beauty and responsibility dance together in perfect harmony beneath the open sky. This is the future of gardening, where we honor nature's rhythms while creating spaces that nourish our souls and protect our precious resources for generations to come. The way we garden is changing, and you're part of this powerful movement toward landscapes that thrive with less, give more, and celebrate the resilience of nature itself. Waterwise design isn't about sacrifice, it's about discovering a deeper, more authentic connection to the land beneath your feet and the plants that have adapted to flourish there. Today, you'll discover how drought-tolerant plants, flowing gravel landscapes, and smart water systems can transform your outdoor space into a thriving ecosystem that saves thousands of gallons while looking absolutely stunning. Subscribe to Garden Blooms and join our community of mindful gardeners. Hit that like button and share your water-saving dreams in the comments below. Across neighborhoods and countryside alike, a quiet revolution is transforming how we think about gardens, where lush green lawns give way to flowing meadows of native grasses that shimmer like waves in the summer breeze. This isn't about deprivation or barren landscapes. It's about discovering that true abundance comes from working with nature's wisdom rather than against it, creating outdoor spaces that flourish with minimal irrigation. Waterwise gardening emerged from necessity but has blossomed into an art form that celebrates regional character, drought adaptation, and ecological intelligence in every carefully chosen plant and thoughtfully placed stone. You have the power to reduce your water consumption by up to 70% while creating a garden more vibrant and alive than anything dependent on daily watering could ever be. This approach honors the land's natural capacity, supports local wildlife, and frees you from the endless cycle of summer watering schedules that drain both resources and your precious time. Imagine stepping into your garden knowing every element has purpose, every plant belongs, and every drop of water works exactly where it's needed most to sustain life and beauty. Xeriscaping rests on 7 fundamental principles that work together like instruments in an orchestra, each playing its part to create gardens that sing with life while sipping water instead of guzzling it greedily from underground aquifers. Planning and design form the foundation, where you learn to read your land's unique story written in sunlight patterns, soil drainage, and microclimates waiting to be discovered and honored. Soil improvement becomes your secret weapon, transforming compacted earth into a living sponge that holds precious moisture near roots where plants can access it during hot summer days when they need it most desperately. Appropriate plant selection means choosing species that already know how to thrive in your region's conditions, plants whose ancestors have been perfecting survival strategies for thousands of years in climates just like yours. Efficient irrigation, practical turf areas, mulching techniques, and ongoing maintenance complete this holistic framework that empowers you to create resilient landscapes where every element supports water conservation goals without compromising beauty or biodiversity. These principles aren't restrictive rules but liberating guidelines that unlock your garden's potential to become a self-sustaining ecosystem that gets easier and more rewarding with each passing season. Native plants are the quiet heroes of water-wise gardens, species that evolved over millennia to thrive in your region's exact rainfall patterns, temperature extremes, and soil conditions without any human intervention whatsoever. These botanical survivors carry ancient wisdom in their roots, knowing precisely when to grow, bloom, rest, and how to extract every precious molecule of moisture from summer soil. When you choose native perennials like coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, and ornamental grasses indigenous to your area, you're not just planting flowers. You're restoring a relationship between land and life that existed long before lawns were invented. These plants support local pollinators who evolved alongside them, provide food and shelter for beneficial insects and birds, and create ecosystems that become more resilient and self-sufficient with each passing year. Your native plant palette might include dramatic prairie grasses that dance in wind like living sculpture, wildflowers that paint seasonal color without demanding irrigation, and sturdy shrubs that anchor your design while providing year-round structure and habitat. The power you hold is transformative. By choosing plants adapted to your specific climate zone, you eliminate the struggle of forcing unsuitable species to survive where they were never meant to grow. Gravel transforms from simple stone into a multifunctional garden element that conserves moisture, suppresses weeds, regulates soil temperature, and creates flowing visual pathways that guide the eye through your water-wise landscape with organic grace. This isn't the harsh, sterile gravel of parking lots, but carefully selected natural stone in warm earth tones that complement your planting palette while serving crucial ecological functions beneath the surface. When properly installed over landscape fabric or directly on amended soil, gravel mulch acts as a protective blanket that keeps moisture from evaporating during scorching summer afternoons while allowing rain and irrigation to percolate through to plant roots below. You gain the freedom to create dry creek bed designs that mimic natural watercourses, define planting zones with different stone sizes and colors, and establish pathways that feel inviting rather than utilitarian. The texture contrast between smooth river rock, crushed granite, and decomposed granite opens endless design possibilities where stone flows like water frozen in time, surrounding drought-tolerant plants with a canvas that makes their foliage and flowers pop with dramatic intensity. This foundation empowers your garden to breathe, drain efficiently, and maintain its beauty through seasons without the constant maintenance that traditional mulch demands every single year. The magic of water-wise design reveals itself when you combine plants with complementary textures, heights, and bloom times that create visual symphonies requiring minimal irrigation but maximum impact throughout every season. Pair silvery blue Russian sage with golden black-eyed Susans and architectural ornamental grasses to craft layers that dance together, each plant supporting its neighbors while maintaining its distinct character and drought-defying strength. Successful combinations honor the thriller-filler-spiller principle adapted for gravel gardens, where tall dramatic specimens like yucca or fountain grass become focal points, mid-height perennials like sedum and lavender fill the middle layer, and low-growing ground covers like creeping thyme spill softly over stone edges. You create depth and movement by thoughtfully arranging plants that share water needs but offer contrasting forms. Spiky against rounded, fine-textured against bold, evergreen structure against deciduous seasonal interest. These partnerships aren't just aesthetically pleasing, they're ecologically intelligent communities where deeper-rooted plants break up compacted soil for their shallower neighbors, taller species provide afternoon shade for more delicate companions, and diverse root systems work together to stabilize soil and maximize water efficiency. Your power lies in orchestrating these relationships to create gardens that grow more beautiful and cohesive as plants mature and interweave into self-sustaining tapestries. Rain gardens represent brilliant design thinking where shallow depressions positioned strategically in your landscape capture runoff from roofs, driveways, and hardscapes, allowing water to slowly infiltrate soil rather than rushing away to storm drains carrying precious resources beyond your garden's reach. These living basins become seasonal focal points where water-loving native plants thrive during wet periods, then rely on deep roots to survive drought, creating self-regulating ecosystems that work harder than any irrigation system. You have the power to transform problem areas where water pools into beautiful, functional features planted with species like native iris, Joe Pye weed, and switchgrass that tolerate both occasional flooding and summer dryness with equal grace. The gentle bowl shape you create, just 4 to 8 inches deep with gently sloping sides, becomes a magnet for birds seeking water and butterflies drawn to nectar-rich blooms that flourish in these moisture-blessed microhabitats. Rain gardens don't just conserve water, they filter pollutants, recharge groundwater, reduce erosion, and create dynamic spaces where seasonal water presence brings ever-changing beauty and ecological function to your landscape's most challenging spots. Imagine channeling every rainstorm into nourishment for your garden rather than watching it disappear down the street, unused and underappreciated by the land that needs it most desperately. Drip irrigation revolutionizes water-wise gardening by delivering moisture directly to plant root zones through a network of tubing and emitters that waste virtually nothing to evaporation, overspray, or runoff like traditional sprinklers squander thoughtlessly across entire landscapes. This targeted approach reduces water consumption by 50 to 70% compared to overhead watering, while promoting healthier plants with stronger root systems that grow deep and resilient instead of staying shallow and dependent. You gain complete control over your garden's hydration, programming timers to water during early morning hours when evaporation rates are lowest and plants can absorb moisture efficiently before afternoon heat arrives to stress their systems. Individual emitters can be adjusted to deliver different flow rates to plants with varying needs, allowing you to create irrigation zones where thirsty vegetables receive more frequent watering while established drought-tolerant perennials get occasional deep soakings that encourage robust root development. Installing drip systems empowers you with flexibility and freedom. The tubing hides discreetly beneath gravel mulch, adapts easily as your garden evolves and plants mature, and connects to rain barrels or regular hose bibs with simple fittings that require no specialized plumbing knowledge. This investment in efficient infrastructure transforms water from a limiting factor into a precisely managed resource that sustains your garden's growth without guilt, waste, or endless hours spent dragging hoses across sun-baked ground. Water-wise gardens become thriving pollinator sanctuaries when you intentionally include native flowering plants that provide nectar, pollen, and habitat for bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, and beneficial insects that form the foundation of healthy ecosystems and productive food gardens. These creatures don't just visit your landscape, they transform it into a living, breathing community where every bloom feeds a pollinator and every pollinator ensures the next generation of flowers through their tireless work. You create zones of abundance by clustering pollinator plants in sunny locations where their blooms create visual landing pads that attract attention from insects traveling across your neighborhood searching for sustenance and shelter. Native species like coneflowers, bee balm, milkweed, and salvias offer far superior nutrition compared to exotic ornamentals that often provide empty calories or none at all, while their drought tolerance means you're supporting wildlife without excessive irrigation demands. The power you wield extends beyond your property line when you establish pollinator corridors that connect fragmented habitats, providing rest stops for migrating monarchs and nesting sites for native solitary bees who pollinate 1/3 of our food crops. By choosing water-wise plants that simultaneously conserve resources and support biodiversity, you become a steward of life itself, creating ripples of positive ecological impact that spread far beyond what your eyes can see within your garden's boundaries. Water-wise gardens transcend the fleeting beauty of traditional landscapes by embracing plants that offer multi-season interest through evergreen structure, dramatic seed heads, autumn foliage transformation, and winter architectural presence that remains stunning even when temperatures plummet and growth slows to dormancy. You discover that true garden artistry lies not in forcing continuous bloom through constant inputs, but in celebrating each season's unique gifts with plants adapted to shine during their appointed time. Spring awakens your xeriscape with early native bulbs and emerging ornamental grass foliage in fresh chartreuse tones, while summer brings waves of drought-tolerant perennial blooms in purples, yellows, and oranges that intensify under bright sunlight rather than wilting beneath its intensity. Autumn transforms your landscape into tapestry of russet, bronze, and gold as native grasses cure to warm earth tones and perennial seed heads provide food for overwintering birds while creating sculptural silhouettes against crisp blue skies. Winter reveals your garden's bones, the evergreen structure of yucca, the persistent beauty of ornamental grass plumes catching snow and frost, the textural contrast between gravel pathways and dormant plant crowns resting beneath mulch layers. You gain the empowering realization that water-wise design actually increases year-round interest because drought-tolerant plants evolved to maintain presence through seasons when water-dependent species simply disappear, leaving nothing but bare earth and broken promises behind. The profound gift of water-wise gardening reveals itself in dramatically reduced maintenance demands, freeing you from the endless cycle of mowing, edging, fertilizing, and constant watering that traditional landscapes require just to maintain their tenuous existence. Your investment in appropriate plant selection and smart infrastructure pays dividends through seasons, as established drought-tolerant gardens essentially care for themselves, asking only for occasional grooming and seasonal attention rather than daily labor. Spring maintenance involves gentle cleanup of winter-damaged foliage, refreshing gravel mulch where erosion has occurred, and dividing overcrowded perennials to maintain vigor. Tasks completed in hours rather than the weeks traditional gardens demand through their growing season. Summer requires monitoring new plantings during establishment and adjusting drip irrigation schedules based on rainfall, while mature plants thrive independently with deep root systems accessing moisture reserves unavailable to shallow-rooted lawn grass struggling to survive. You gain precious time and energy to actually enjoy your outdoor space rather than being enslaved by its needs, sitting with morning coffee watching pollinators work among flowers you didn't have to deadhead, walking gravel paths you didn't have to edge, admiring ornamental grasses you didn't have to trim weekly. This is gardening reimagined as partnership with nature rather than battle against it, where less intervention creates more beauty, health, and satisfaction than constant fussing ever could achieve. You now hold the knowledge and inspiration to transform your outdoor space into a water-wise sanctuary that saves thousands of gallons annually while creating beauty that deepens and enriches with every passing season, connecting you to the natural rhythms of your region in ways traditional landscaping never could. This journey isn't about sacrifice or settling for less. It's about discovering that gardens designed with ecological wisdom offer more life, more diversity, more resilience, and infinitely more satisfaction than landscapes dependent on constant human intervention and precious resources. Every native plant you choose, every gravel pathway you install, every drip emitter you position becomes a vote for a future where gardens give back more than they take, where beauty and conservation dance together in perfect partnership, and where your outdoor space becomes a living legacy of stewardship that inspires neighbors and nourishes ecosystems for generations to come. You have the power to be part of this water-wise revolution, starting today with a single drought-tolerant plant or one section of lawn transformed into flowing native meadow. If this video inspired you to reimagine your garden's potential, subscribe to Garden Blooms for more design strategies, plant recommendations, and step-by-step guides that bring your water-wise vision to life. Hit that like button to support sustainable gardening content, and share your water-saving goals or garden transformation plans in the comments below. I read every single one and love celebrating this journey with our growing community of mindful gardeners creating beauty that truly blooms.